spring break, I talked with a colleague, Emily, and asked her if she had any plans. And she said, yeah, I'm gonna be up pretty late tonight working in the studio. We're gonna record some music. And I thought, that's awesome, right? I wanna work in the studio on a Friday night. And my mind kind of wandered. How different would it have been if I said, hey, you have any plans over spring break? And she said, yeah, actually I'm gonna be up pretty late tonight working in my classroom. I thought, wow, that's just sad. I don't want to spend a Friday night of spring break in my classroom, right? But words matter a lot. And the word classroom has a lot of baggage attached to it. I think that we all have the same collective visual of what a generic classroom looks like. And we also have the same kind of expectations around what should happen inside a classroom. But it's time that we reclaim our learning spaces. So what if our classrooms were more like studios? What if they were places that we actually wanted to hang out in, to spend our time in? So Starbucks has been working on this. They want you to be at home, at work, and at Starbucks, right? They call themselves the third space, a place that's actually fun, a place that's actually comfortable, a place you actually want to be, a place that's the polar opposite of a classroom. Right? Just imagine for a second what it feels like being in a chair like this, sitting cemetery style for 7 hours a day. Right? That's awful. Right? We know no learning is happening in this space because environment is not neutral. We know that environment communicates how we should move about a space, and environment communicates how we should interact with others within that space. So this has become an education conversation. So at Hillbrook, we've been looking a lot at learning spaces. So over the next 4 slides, you're going to hear 3 iterations of our story of learning spaces. I want you to think through it using the Hillbrook way, where we ask, start, collaborate, and show. So our story starts 7 years ago when the iPad was introduced. Do you remember this? We got rid of the computer lab with the monitors that could crush a small child, put in flexible furniture, and just started using it, asking what worked, what didn't work. And around that time, Ilse Doman, who was a researcher at Stanford, came to work at Hillbrook as both a science teacher and a research designer. Now she did some quantitative research and found that, yeah, this actually makes a difference in student learning. So she published a paper and we thought, this is amazing. What might this look like in more than one space? So 12 teachers opted into what we call the Reimagining Classrooms project. They met monthly, figured out what worked, what didn't work. They shared that learning through a podcast, and we thought, this is amazing. This is really transforming the student experience. What if we had flexible furniture in every classroom? So this past school year, we reimagined every classroom at Hillbrook to have flexible furniture. And we learned one important fact. This only makes a difference if you put student choice at the center of everything you do. Right? And great news, this is free. But there's one thing, we need to take a quick tangent here, that really bothers me about this whole idea. A lot of people have put this in the bucket of 21st century learning. And I have some problems with this, right? The 21st century is not some vague future where students will have choice. It's not some vague future where there will be innovation. It is now. So if classrooms look more like studios, what does learning look like? Right? Learning is less sit down, shut up, here's a worksheet, and it's more students truly collaborating. This is going to be noisy, this is going to be messy. Right? You just heard about this with Breakout EDU. It's so powerful. It is less of the teacher saying, sit down here, here's what you're going to learn, here's how you're going to learn it, here's how you're going to demonstrate that learning, and it's more students truly driving their own learning. This is why movements like Genius Hour are so important right now. It is less sit and get, because as it turns out, the teacher and the textbook are no longer the only source of content. Our students have the world's knowledge at their fingertips, in their pockets, and our teaching needs to reflect that. But if all they're doing is Googling things, we are selling them far short. Right? These devices we have are the most powerful storytelling devices ever created. So our students need to be writing books. Our students need to be making movies. But if that's all they're doing, we are again selling them short. Our students need to be publishing their books. Our students need to be distributing their movies, sharing their thoughts, their ideas, their projects with the world. Because when technology grows and changes exponentially, our students need to shift into creating content. Our students need to be able to find a problem out in the world. Our classrooms need to look more like studios so that students can find that problem, reach beyond themselves, and make a difference in this world.